Daddy born poor, Mama was too. Walking through the snow, plastic bags on their shoes. Papa selling houses, sleeping in a car. Four babies in the backseat, underneath the stars. Well, hey, hey, just work a little harder. Hey, hey, punching that clock with work and prayer and a little bit of luck. Make so much money, need a 10-ton truck. Ha, 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 ha.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So glad you could join me this morning. Here at Forex Smart Trade, our mission is to help you become the best version of yourself and move you on the path to financial independence by teaching you how to currency trade using our highly accurate proprietary indicator. And we do that by providing personalized one-on-one training, which we think is the most efficient and effective way to learn. So let's get into it and see what we've got going this morning. We need to start by listening to this guy.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
One of the great things about the program is our commitment to you as traders. It is about continuous improvement, and we provide continuous teaching opportunities every day. We do a couple live trades a day, at least a couple live trades a day. One in the morning at 10 a.m., which tends to be a little scalp trade. One in the evening at 10 p.m., which tends to be a little bit longer term trade. And then training. On Wednesday evenings, we have the advanced member meetings. And then on Saturday morning, back to the basics, where we're continuously reviewing strategies and taking questions and helping you be that best version of yourself. I work off of a checklist, and that checklist helps me kind of stay focused and make sure I'm not missing anything. The good practice every day is to restart Green Chart. One, to get any updates, and two, to kind of clear up your memory. A good habit is part of that continuous improvement process to improve your trading practices, to every day review what trade didn't go the way you thought it should go. On Tuesday morning, we took a trade with a trade on the pound yen. It was what I considered to be a very good signal. So we'll just take a look at what it was. So Tuesday would have been would have been 314. And we took it right around 6:55. So let's go to that time. The simulator allows us to take a look at, to go back and reevaluate. So this is the signal we were looking at on the signal that I trade off of the 10-point trade. Basically, we're looking for all the lines to line up. We had three 3 points here. We are overbought. There's 1.2. All the lines are going down. And 3, we've got the double cross. The red is crossed over the green on the major indicator, and the black's crossed over the gray on the minor indicator. And we've got pretty good slope here on the green line. It's more than 45 degrees. So 3 points here. When I jump up to my TNTs, 2 orange lines going down, supporting the sell signal we're seeing here. Dotted blue going up. Blue lines are inversely related. So 3 points here. I have got weak up pressure that's starting to go sideways with the red line on top. The red line on top gives me a point. So I get 7 points here. We confirmed it by looking at the 2 and the 4 hour. Basically, what I want to do is I want to see that we are overbought on the 2 and overbought on the 4. We get the extra benefit of not only are they overbought, but they're coming down on both of them. I don't necessarily need the lines to come down. The one thing that I didn't mention it, the one thing that I didn't like, or sometimes is just a warning flag, is that on the 2 hour here, we've been overbought for a while. We've been overbought for 6 hours, 8 hours. But I still like the trade very much. So as we go forward, let's see what happens. Let's right here, jump forward, brings us to the end of the hour, 6:59. So then we go to the next hour. Boom, the signal has changed on the 2, on the 1 hour and the 2 hour. When I saw this, I hedged. If you remember on that day, I had a pretty good net gain. So what a hedge is basically you take the other position. So we had an open sell. I took an open buy. I moved, when I took the open buy, I moved the stop loss off of the pound yen, and I rode this up, and I made maybe $5,000-6,000 riding this up. It was kind of a big up move. By the end of the day, it started to come back. It still never got back to break even, but maybe by the end of the day, around 3-4 o'clock, it was maybe $4,000 off. But I had made that $4,000 when I saw this signal change. So I rode it up, and I took it in increments, between 10 and 25 pips at a time. The indicators are good, but this happens. Sometimes there's a change, and when the change is, you need to respond, and that's one of the things we'll teach you. So that's it on last night's overnight trade. Why is this the pound yen? Or this shouldn't be. There we go. If we go back and take a look at last night's overnight trade, which would have been the 15th, and we took it around a little after 4 o'clock. And I've tried to start including the video showing you what I'm looking at, but here we've got a steep down, and here it's starting to turn. Usually, because of the steepness of this, I took it. Now, the one hesitating factor is if we take a look at, so here on the 8 hour, it's starting to turn. Usually I like to see the signal across all the way down to the 4 hour. We didn't have that. We had that on the pound, but we didn't have that on this one. Is I don't know why these are all screwed up. Mute yourself, please, if you haven't. Is when like this. Usually there's going to be some retracement, and that's basically what happened. We were up around. Oh, let's take a look. I'm not going to go to the specific time because I want to get in today's trade, but usually on a big down day like this, there'll be retracement. But the chart was, the line was so steep on that day chart, I thought there was enough for another push down. It didn't. It just started to go up. So that is, the signal was good. The only caution was because of this, we might have held off a little bit or not taken it. I didn't include that in my. I should have probably done the extra step of taking a look at what was going on here before I took it, when I saw that we only had the day chart and the 12-hour chart supporting us. All right, so with that, let's jump into today and see what we've got cooking. As I said, I trade off of the my principal trade strategy is the 10-point trade signal. We've got a dozen different trade plans, and we will create one that suits you. I like to trade off of the 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart, a trade's going to be worth somewhere between 35 to 35 pips. And you'll see that the majority of my trades are around 10, 11 pips. Sometimes when I've already made some money, I will go for more. Or if sometimes if I am starting in a hole, I will go for a little bit more. So, for example, today we're starting in a hole because the one trade from the overnight didn't hit out. On this trade plan, I'm expecting the trade to close within 1 to 3 hours. I want to get the lines to line up, basically. And actually, we missed one step, which is what's the news that's coming up. We want to know what the news is. We don't trade off of the news, but we want to know what the news is so that we can trade around it. And we look to Forex Factory. And again, this morning, we've got the items I'm worried about are the ones in red. I like to be out of a trade 2 hours beforehand, if I can, so as I can avoid whatever bump this is going to have. And the bump is caused by the difference in expectations versus what the number is. This number was known as of yesterday, and it starts to leak out a little bit beforehand. So I just don't want to be in it and get caught in the pull of it. So we've got something on the USD at 830, and then Euro is coming up with some news right after that. So we're going to avoid pretty much anything with the dollar and the euro. So that's going to limit us a little bit this morning. So let us let's go. And now that we have that, we'll go back to seeing what we can find. Australian dollar, we're trading off of the light 6 major chart, which is one of the standard charts. It's a composite chart. It's showing us 6 different currency pairs, all on a 1 hour candle. It allows me to quickly take a look and figure out if I see a setup. So this is what I am looking up to see setups. I am looking for for situations where the where the majors and minors are either above this horizontal blue line, which is the overbought line, or below this horizontal red line, which is the oversold line. And when they're above, I want to catch them pointing down. And when they're below, I want to catch them pointing up. Here we are midway through the channel. Can I take a trade when we're midway through the channel? Yes, I can, but it's just not part of my trade plan. I can get 10 pips when we're midway through and it's on its way through the channel. But because of my risk preferences, I'd rather catch something up here and have it go down than to catch something in the middle. I'm not sure how much more of a move there is and how long it'll take. Whereas if I can catch it up here and ride it down, that's a high probability trade to me. So nothing here. Euro USD, we're in the middle of the channel, nothing here. Pound USD, we're oversold and going down, so nothing there. USD Canadian, we're reaching overbought and it's still going up. USD Swiss franc reaching overbought. Boy, this was a nice signal. Had you been able to catch this 3 hours ago, 50 pips there. Riding it up through the channel. When it turned, a good steepness. The lines are all clustered. We've got the 3 points, but on top of the 3 points, this line is steeper than 45 degrees, the green line. And then it goes up and then it kinks again and it goes up. It goes from less steep to more steep. So then on this kink in the middle, you get this jump is double what these two here. So a nice 50 pips in 3 hours is a nice move. USD yen, we're in the middle of the channel and it's changing direction, so nothing there. I have cloned this chart and put in non-US D pairs. Euro pound overbought going up, so nothing there. Australian dollar yen more than halfway through the channel going down. Euro Canadian dollar, we've got conflicting signal here. The majors are going down, minors are going up. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar we've turned. I've got a prospect to go out to New Zealand in the next couple of weeks. Still figuring out if I want to do it or not. Never been to New Zealand, so it'll be kind of interesting if I end up going. Pound yen oversold going down. Euro Australian dollar middle of the channel, majors are starting to turn sideways, so nothing there. Canadian dollar yen approaching oversold, losing gas. Euro New Zealand dollar approaching overbought, nothing there. Pound New Zealand dollar, we've got a mixed signal here. Majors coming down, minors going up. New Zealand dollar yen oversold or approaching oversold. Again, you can see more steep. It kinks to less steep. So you get a little doji here on the green candle, and then kinks back and keeps going down. And on that New Zealand dollar, you saw that same thing happen on the USD. More steep, less steep, more steep, and then you get that big push down. Euro Swiss franc overbought and going up, and this is very steep, very clustered. Again, this is a nice signal. Had you been able to catch this here, it ran for come on, 30 pips in 2 hours. So that's a nice move. So even if you didn't catch it here, I prefer it to be a little bit closer to the red line when it turned here. But here when it starts to kink up and then it kinks up again. So that would have been a nice move to catch. So far we've gone through 18 pairs, not seen anything. Let us go on the last 6. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, we're in the channel and it's losing steam. Swiss franc yen, approaching oversold. Euro yen, approaching oversold. Lines aren't that steep. Oversold and going down. It turned. This, if you remember, is a little bit similar to what we saw. We saw the reverse on that pound yen from Tuesday on the 2-hour chart. It was hanging down like this. The signal was like this, but although the only difference here is we don't have agreement on the minors. But the major line was similar to this. So I probably wouldn't take this because the minors aren't in agreement here. And then you see it turned back. New Zealand Swiss franc, nothing. We're approaching overbought and it's starting to lose steam. The kink is going from more steep to less steep. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, approaching overbought. So we've gone through 18 pairs. We didn't see anything with our 10-point trade signal this morning, and we're a little bit boxed out because of the 2 news items on the euro, the USD, and the euro. That takes away most of the pairs. So let's take a look. I'm going to switch strategies and use another signal, something called the thick orange line signal. This is a little scalp. Again, I'm trading it off of a 1-hour chart. You can trade this off of a 30-minute chart. The 10-point signal you can do off of any time period chart. But the thick orange line is really only off of the hour or the 30-minute. I do it off off of the hour. We want to do it when there is 5 minutes left in the hour, and we're approaching that. We've got 7 minutes left, so by the time we take a trade, it'll be down to 5. And I am looking at what the thick orange line number is, and I'm looking for it to be either 0 or 10. The thick orange line is a scaled number, and when it is at 10, like here, it is telling me it doesn't think there's any more up in the movement. So if there's no more up in the movement, it's a good time to sell. However, I don't want to trade off of just one piece of information. I want something to confirm it. And I am going to look at the confirmation because you can see here it's been at 10 for the last 2 hours. And, there was more of an up move here from the last hour. I want to see what the position of the majors are. And specifically, I am looking for the red and green line to be above this blue line. And I want that red line to be maybe 1/4 of an inch above that blue line. I want it not just touching, but above. So when this is at 10 and this line is above the blue line, the majors are above the blue line, specifically the red line, that's a good trade. It's worth 5 pips. So I've got part 1, but I don't have part 2. 7 isn't close enough. 5 isn't close enough. 0.6. 0.6 is within 1 of 0. So if it's within 1 of either end, that's okay. I want my confirmation. I am going to take a look at where the major line is, the red and green line, and I want it below the red line. It's not below. This is telling me there's more down on the move, where this is telling me it's maxed out. So I don't have agreement between the two. Point two is within one of zero. This line is a little better. The green has crossed over, but the red is still on the inside. I want the red to actually be even a little further than where the green line is. So we don't have that there. Again, zero here. I've got part one, but my majors are telling me, and it's been at zero for 2 hours, this hour and last hour. This is telling me there's a little bit more down on the movement. So I'm going to pass. So let's go to the next group. 8 isn't close enough. I'm looking for 0 or 10. 0.4, yes, but my majors aren't there. Green line is just touching the red. 0.5, yes. Majors still aren't there. The green line is crossed over the red, but the red line is still on the inside of the channel. I want the red line to kind of be where the black line is, at least where the black line is or more. So nothing there. 5 isn't close enough. 10, yes. And this is getting close. The red line is, the green line's above the overbought line. The red line is touching. I want the red line to be a little bit higher. Not quite there yet. 1 isn't quite close enough, so we're going to pass. Let's go to the next grouping. 9.1, yes, that's good, but majors aren't there yet. 1 isn't close enough. 4 isn't close enough. 7 isn't close enough. 0, yes, but my majors aren't there yet. Still telling me there's down in the movement. 9.3. This is a yes, and this is where I want it to be. However, do I have this written down? Let's take a look. I don't have this rule written down. I do not like it when the major line, I want it where the major line has gone from overbought to oversold, or oversold to overbought. Here it's been hanging up. It's been hanging up here for the last 6 hours. When I see that, I stay away from the thick orange line trade. I want it to go from up here to down here when it's down here, because what we're looking for is when this is overbought, there's going to be a little bit of a snap when the hour changes. And that snap is worth 5 pips. When the majors have been up here for a long time, they could keep going up. So we don't tend to see that snap as often. And I want a situation where we've got a high probability trade. So I am going to pass. So the line is good. If this line was like the minor line, where it came from one end to the other end, I would take the trade. But because it's been hanging out up here, I'm not going to take the trade. And I'll add that to the instruction. And lastly, we've got the USD, and because we have that news item coming up, even if we saw the signal, I'm not going to take it because we're too close to that news item. 1 isn't close enough. 10, yes, but we're going to review it just so that if we see the signal, you can identify it. So 10, yes, but the majors aren't where I want them to be. 10, yes, majors aren't where I want them to be. Clearly, this is better than this because of the steepness of the line. 0, we're getting close. The green line is over the red line. Red line is just touching. I want both lines, basically I want the red line to be where the green line is. 0.8, not close. Point again 0. This is almost 0, but again the majors don't support it. All right, gang, we have reviewed two different trade signals, the 10-point and the thick orange line trade on 24 different pairs, and we did not see a good signal this morning. So I apologize for that. I am honored that you take the time to join me every morning. If you put in the time, we will make you a good trader. So we will reconvene again on Monday at 3:30. Good trading. See you then. Let's see if we get any comments real quick. Look like the on the USD Swiss franc, USD Swiss franc on the 50-point run up. Yeah, the pressure is against it. The pressure is against it. So on the what Brian was saying, that on this run we didn't have the pressure in agreement. So you probably wouldn't have got in here. Once you got to the halfway mark, the pressure does cross over. Now, again, it's not part of my trade strategy. But do I take trades? You know, so it's 16. You get maybe 27 points till you, if you ran up the wick. On the Euro USD, if I saw this at the halfway point, I do take trades on the Euro USD, but what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go take a look and see what the 2 and the 4 hour are telling me. But because of my comfort with the Euro USD, I will sometimes jump in the middle, but I'm not recommending that for you because I want you to have kind of good fundamentals before you start doing kind of more fancier stuff. But as I've been trading about 4 years, on a halfway at the on the Euro USD, I would consider that. But you're right, we don't have the signal here. But this here is a good setup. This here is a good setup. And we do have technically, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We have the 3 up here, but we don't have it here. We don't have the pressure there. So good observation. Okay, gang. Thanks so much. We will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.